It's too cold with the rest. Air blows out there like.
Oh, is it?
4, 3, 2.
Oh, shoot.
All right. Welcome to the City of Carpinteria Architectural Review Board meeting of Thursday, March 12th.
Recording in progress.
Going to do that again. City of Carpinteria Architectural Review Board meeting of Thursday, March 12th. If we could get roll call, please.
Chair Blakemore,
Here.
Vice Chair O'Connor.
Here.
Board Member Johnson,
Here.
Board Member Little,
Here.
and Board Member Wolf.
All right. This is the time of the meeting we reserve for public comment items that are for matters not otherwise on the agenda. Is there anyone here tonight for any public comment not on the agenda? I don't see anyone in the audience. Anyone on Zoom?
If you would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand over Zoom. There is no public comment at this time.
All right, thank you. And for tonight's agenda item, is there any ex parte communication from any of the board on this item? No?
No.
None from anyone? And tonight we've got one matters by staff that we're gonna do before our regular agenda. So Marisol, if you want to take us through.
Good evening. We have a matters by staff item here for some new signage for new business moving in Coyotes Market. We have Caroline and Peter here representing the project as the business owners. You're welcome to join them at the table while I do my presentation. So the location of this new business is the same building as Limos, between Yucca Lane and Limos. It was previously Crush Cakes a long time ago and Carp Kitchen. It faces Carpinteria Avenue. The new tenant has submitted their sign application and it's under review. Here are some views of the building from Carpinteria Avenue on the left and from Yucca Lane on the right. Here's the view of some of the existing signage on the property. There is already an approved sign program that governs that property. It doesn't have a lot of guidance, but that's the signage that's been approved under that sign program, and we are reviewing the current sign application with the guidelines that are available. So one of the signs that they're going to be proposing is going to be on the Yucca Lane side, and it's going to be, I have another image of it. There's a rendering of it. It's going to be a printed vinyl logo right there on the corner, close to their entrance. And then facing Carpinteria Avenue at their main entrance, they're going to have vinyl lettering on the awning and on the door. Additionally, they're going to have a mural element that goes around their entrance. And that feature, without the art, is an existing architectural feature of the building. And they're going to be adding the mural component to it. At the back, there's an existing archway, and they're going to hand paint some of the mural element as well as the business name facing the parking lot. So there's a total of 2 signs facing Carp, 1 facing Yucca Lane, and 1 off the rear. Staff has reviewed their application and it complies with the guidelines that are available in the sign program. The main one for this tenant space is the maximum square footage of 25 cumulative square feet, and they're coming in at less than 13, excluding the mural component. And the reason we're bringing it today as a matters by staff item is because of the mural component, because it's not addressed in the sign program, and our municipal code does require some feedback from the architectural review for that. And so we're looping you in to review the mural element, and then if primarily the mural element, but of course the larger sign concept as well. If you have any feedback for that, that concludes my presentation. We do have the business owners here. If you have any questions or questions for me.
Are there any questions for staff?
Yes. So the additional element, does that exceed the allowable square footage?
It wouldn't count towards the sign program square footage. Yes.
I'm guessing that the mural has gone through this board before, when it was put up originally?
You mean the existing one?
The
that's-
existing one.
I don't know the permitting history on that, but
That's not the mural we're talking about, though, right?
This is the existing.
The existing mural is not going to be changed?
Mural is that green thing.
Oh, that.
the
little-
mural is the
the baby-
art around the archway
That's the mural. Sorry.
and on the rear, the front and the rear. The existing one is unchanged. And the existing one you're referring to is this one?
Yes.
Yep, not part of this application. Don't know the permit history. Our code does require that murals and other types of signs, require review by the Architectural Review Board.
So just to clarify, what we're approving is the arch.
Yeah, what you're reviewing and providing feedback on is the overall concept with this small mural component added onto it. The one facing Carpinteria Avenue and the one in the back.
Any other question for staff?
It's a market, right? It's a market. Yes. Okay, maybe you guys are going to talk about it a little bit, which would be great.
If there are no other questions for staff, we'll ask the applicants to present.
Hi, thank you for taking time to talk to us today. We are opening a small specialty market at 4945A Carp Ave. We're featuring mostly local meat and seafood. That's the heart of the market. We're sourcing all seafood from the Santa Barbara Channel, and then meat as local as possible from a lot of local ranches, stretching throughout California as needed, but trying to keep it in Santa Barbara County whenever we can, and Ventura County up to Ojai. We'll also have specialty items from throughout California. We're trying to keep all of our pantry staples from within California as well. And we will also have some locally made ceramics and kitchenwares that we offer there too. So it's going to be a mix. Again, the heart is meat and seafood, and then we're offering items that complement the meat and seafood. The spirit of this mural honestly came from, we have a friend who's an artist, and she makes textiles, and she created a custom handkerchief for us. And we just loved the icons that she put on it. We asked her, we gave her a lot of inspiration of things that reminded us of Carpinteria or our store and what we were carrying. And she created all these super fun little icons that we thought would be great to use on the exterior of the store. We like the inspiration. It feels, vaguely like Chumash art a little bit. And I think that felt really relevant to the area for us. So some of the icons we have on there are, basic things like chicken and fish and pork and beef that we'll have at the store, but we also have things that remind us of Carpinteria, like avocados. We have a blue heron, some shells, some wildflowers. So it's really inspired by carp. The back mural is all cattle brands they're all historic cattle brands from Santa Barbara County. And then the other details are California poppies on there. So we just thought that these details would just add a little something to the exterior of the store and make it feel more evocative of what we're trying to present inside of it.
Thank you very much. Any questions for the applicant?
Are these painted on, or are they going to be ceramic?
Those would be, actually both sides would be hand painted by the artist who created the art.
Okay.
No questions, thanks.
Member Wolf?
This has been a number of things, obviously, recently. How are people going to know it's a market?
Is it on still? Yeah, that's a great question. The front of it does say market you can't really see it, but on the top of the detail on the archway, it says meat, seafood, kitchen, grocery up there. And then the door detail says Coyotes Market, Carpinteria, California. So we do have that signage there, and we would be happy on the back side as well to add something that specifies it's a market. Also on the corner detail next to the larger mural we were talking about, it does say market under the Coyotes there as well.
I just don't see it on our drawings, any place that says market. Where am I looking, you guys?
Well, I think it's on the door,
On the
on the
orange,
glass.
yeah,
on
so
the
there's
door.
a different colored vinyl on the door and then on the awning as well.
Not showing in the font.
We could pull up more detail too. We have an iPad here where we could show you more detail on the art there.
Okay, so it shows just as much as the font for Coyote. It says market.
Yeah.
And it will be just as visible to somebody driving by.
Yes, yeah. It will. That detail on the door is in gold, so we feel like it'll really stand out there. And again, on the top, as much as it's not really showing, as you can see on the screen here, there will be detail around the Coyotes that specify what we are selling in there.
No, it's a market.
It's a market, so just as long as it's just as bold.
Okay.
So there's no mystery.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's very fair, absolutely.
I have a question. It looks, there's two kind of things going on here. The rendering shows sort of some color involved, and then looking at the photo, it just looks kind of black. Which are you going with?
That's a fair question. So the photo, that was kind of just a sample markup that that's kind of the more final version, the rendering you see on the left there. We will have some little pops of color in there that use the same colors that you can find on the sign, especially on the corner of the building. It's
Okay,
kind
so
of
that
a sage
color-
green, yeah.
So that color will be here, and then will there be any on this element here too?
Yes, so,
Poppies will be orangish color, right?
yeah, the poppies will be an orange color, which again didn't, show up there, but, and then.
Will there be the green, so it's all kind of the same palette, at least across?
Yes, yeah. There will not be green on the back archway. There'll be an orange accent there, but that'll be the same orange that's used on the front awning, some of the details on there.
Okay. And then this
And
has
on
the green and the
exactly,
orange.
yeah, green and orange on
Got
that
it.
sign.
Okay. Do you have any questions? Nope. Do you have any more questions? Board Member Little, good. Board Member Wolf, questions? You good? Okay. We take it, just give a recommendation, is that what for the matters by staff?
If you have any comments,
Just comments.
Okay, Board Member Johnson, you want to go first? Just comments?
I don't have any comments. If I can make a motion.
We don't need a motion.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm good. Good luck.
good. Board Member Little, Board Member Wolf, good. I think it looks great, and welcome to the neighborhood. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.
it was nice to see you back in. Yeah, it's been a little while, so, yeah, I'm glad you did.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll move on to our regular agenda. We're going to be looking at the Aliso School Kindergarten Building. You want to come on up and join us? Hello,
All right.
welcome. How's it going, Megan?
Hello, everyone, members of the ARB, any members of the public watching. My name is Megan Musoff, and tonight I'll be doing the staff presentation for the final ARB review of the new Aliso Elementary School kindergarten building. This project was last reviewed by the ARB at the end of July 2025. Just as a brief refresher, this project proposes to remove 7 total portable classrooms, so 2 on the west side of the Aliso campus and 5 on the east side, which these 5 have already been removed, and in place construct a new single-story 6,467 square foot classroom building that would accommodate all kindergarten classroom instruction for the school. The proposed maximum building height would be 27 feet 10 inches at the top of the cupolas. The project would also slightly reconfigure the kindergarten parking lot. And so in order to accommodate the new building and some new walkways, there would be a net removal of 5 spaces, but also the inclusion of ADA compliant parking. There would be new landscaping and new hardscaping all around the classroom building. And the plan set that was provided in your packets tonight is the plans as they were approved by the Division of the State Architect back at the end of October of 2025. And the design, the architecture is as it was presented to and approved by the Planning Commission. So there have been no changes to the project since it was reviewed and approved by the Planning Commission. Just a brief aerial overview. Here you can see these are those 5 main portables that have been removed where the new building is going to go. And these 2 portables over here will be removed as well. The applicant team has let me know that these portables will remain until close of construction just to help accommodate the school's needs until the new building is up and running. Those 2 play areas are also still proposed to remain to serve the new classroom building. Sorry, it's a little vertical here for this very horizontal slide, but here's an overall site plan. This front area of the parking lot here is what's been reconfigured. Here you can see the new ADA compliant parking. You can see the overall shape of the building is a C with those ramps going up, since this building, as you may recall from the last time your board reviewed, is elevated to accommodate the special flood hazard area. A little bit more zoomed in, you can see the 4 classrooms. Each classroom would have its own student bathroom with additional student and staff bathrooms here in the center, with this courtyard with the 2 planter boxes in the middle. So I'll just highlight the changes that were made following your board's feedback at preliminary ARB. And again, these changes were presented to the Planning Commission and have been approved by the state architect. The first main change was that the footprint of the cupolas was reduced, but the height was increased by 6 inches to help reduce that bulk and heaviness that your board had comments on the last time around. The roofs of the cupolas were also switched from tile to a standing seam metal, which just provides a little bit more variation in material, with a little brass finial detail at the top. I'll have some pictures in just a second. Cornices and corbels were added to the top of the large windows on the west elevation, so that's kind of that front main elevation, and also the 2 outermost windows on the east elevation. As requested by the ARB, some tile details were added to the west elevation of the building to help break up some of those blank white facades. And the grills on both the cupolas and all of the bathroom windows were changed from white to a terracotta color to also just add some more color and increase the contrast. So here is the west elevation as shown in the plans provided to you. Here you can see those cornices and corbels added to the windows. Here you can see the reduced footprint of the cupolas, slightly taller now, new standing seam metal roof with the little finial at the top, and the tile details have been added here, here, and here at the center of the ramp. And this I pulled from the plans that were shown at Planning Commission, but just to give you some ideas of the colors. And here again, you can see the tile details and the new color of the grills. Here is the north elevation. This is the street-facing elevation. You can just see in a little bit better detail the cornice and the corbels. This detail on the window here remains unchanged. This was presented at preliminary ARB. Oh, I had some notes there too. And here you can kind of get a sense of, the ramp. It's kind of a two-tier with a little platform in the middle. It's got these posts here as it goes up. And lastly, the east elevation, which is the rear of the building. Again, you can see here and here cornices and corbels added, and these grills here will all be that terracotta color instead of just white. I know the colors don't show up super well on the projection, but just to give you kind of an overall idea of the color scheme that's been proposed here, we've got the doors and windows in this oasis blue, exterior walls, the cement base where it's been elevated would be a slightly darker tone, and then the grills are this reddish color. These colors also match many of the existing colors that are on the campus presently. Amy had some comments about the landscaping last time around. So the tree here up at the front has been swapped out for a Brisbane box. The salvia here in the front was replaced with dwarf bottlebrush, and the Tipuana tipu was replaced with an Arbutus marina. Just as a couple of more reference photos, just so you can see kind of how this design would fit in with the existing site architecture. Here you can see this is where like that bluish color on the windows and the doors is. And that basically brings me to the end of my presentation. If your board has any comments about how the applicant has responded to your feedback from preliminary ARB or any remarks about the final colors and materials, we would be happy to hear it. But otherwise, staff's recommendation is to recommend final approval to the Community Development Director. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there questions for staff? Vice Chair O'Connell?
I make a nice job. I appreciate all the references to the prior reviews. That's helpful. To that point, we did talk a bit about last time about the original master plan had an on-site traffic plan that now isn't part of the design. I think largely because of budget, is probably the realistic answer. Can you remind me what the drop-off is for kids? Is that loop that's sort of shown on the fire diagram where the ADA parking was done? Is that where kids get dropped off?
In terms of the functioning of this, I would be happy to let Robert address some of this. But here I've pulled up the site plan again where you can see where cars would be pulling in, and this would be a one-way to then exit that way. The new traffic flow is not proposed as part of this stage of the Aliso Campus Master Plan. But in terms of that broader vision, I would defer to Robert to answer some of those questions.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other,
Well, we'll wait
let's
till we get there,
come
yeah.
back to you in just a minute. Sorry. Any other questions for staff?
No.
Board Member Little?
Megan, in our last meeting on the 7th Street house, we talked about that with the new flood maps that they can be lowered. Is this a different situation?
Yes, this is a different situation. Even with the new flood maps that will come into effect later this year, this property is still in the flood hazard zone. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Board Member Wolf, any questions for staff? Did you have another one?
No.
Okay, now's your turn. Thank you.
Oh, okay, that's better. Well, I trust everyone heard what I said, but I'll just repeat it again, is that we haven't changed the drop-off, the existing drop-off configuration of the school, and that the drop-off only applies, obviously, to the upper grades, not to kindergarten kids, which are always, walked in by their parents or caregivers to the campus. Nobody would, I think, drop off a kindergartner off to a drop-off. Well, hopefully they wouldn't. And so Yes, there was no change to that. The drop-off that you were talking about with the traffic circle that was part of the original master plan, you are indeed correct, is that that's something that's of the broader vision that we hope will occur at a later date as fun, maybe if there's another bond measure or something like that, and hope I get to be involved in that. And that is part of the larger vision, but it was a phase 2 vision that would occur if there was the ability to do that. But the focus of the bond voted in by the public was replacing aging portables and modernizing the campus, which was this project actually dovetails into quite nicely.
So the existing drop-off is then up off Carp and 7th?
Oh, no, actually, if you can look at it right there, it's the upper left, yeah, you see that? Yeah, so there's like a long sort of dashed line. That's where the existing drop-off has been for the
Right in there.
elementary kids.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You can see the wheel stops and there's a fence there so that, to protect,
And the point is, nothing's changed there.
there's nothing changed, no.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Did you have anything else to supplement Megan's presentation? or-
No, not really. I think this board is, quite familiar with the project, and I really appreciated, Mr. O'Connor, your support during our planning commission meeting. I really appreciated that, and I appreciated your words and the words of Commissioner Moyer, saying some nice things about our design and the school district's effort in getting this project lifting off, and we're really excited that we've begun breaking ground on the job. Yeah. So if you have any questions for me, I'm just open for that.
Do we have any questions for the applicant?
On the cupolas,
Yeah.
the height was increased. Was it increased for a particular reason?
For aesthetics, I always appreciate the peer review that I get with, fellow architects. And so when the suggestion was made to improve them, I took it seriously and went back to the drawing board. And what I did, what you see in the final design here, was a reduction of the bulk of it. But it actually called for a different roof pitch in order to just make it look more graceful. So the cupola roof pitch is actually 5 and 12, whereas the main roof is 3.5 and 12. And it gives it a little, kind of a more of a lift-off kind of feeling that's less heavy, because that was one of the response, it looked too heavy. So I feel like that gives it a little more lift. And we also used those little sections, those little rooftops of the cupolas will actually be copper. So when, after a little bit of age, the copper will be shiny at first, but then it'll turn into a sort of a dirty penny kind of look over time. And then eventually, given its proximity to the coast, will achieve that verdigris patina, which will be quite nice. And I think actually work pretty well with the color scheme. So, yeah, and that's the reason why, long and short of it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any other questions for the applicant?
No.
No?
Not
No?
for me.
All right, well, I think is there anyone in the audience that has anything to add? Any comments, questions? No? Anyone on Zoom?
There's not public comment at this time.
Okay, we'll bring it back to the board for comments. Then, Board Member Wolf, did you want to go first?
I think it's a nice design. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Board Member Little?
I like the changes that were made, except for the cupola. It's just, at least on the renderings that I saw, it just seems like they're a little too tall. That's my only comment. Other than that, it's a nice project.
Okay. Board Member Johnson?
No, I think it's fine project. And I notice you won't have any hall passes on this floor plan. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, Vice Chair O'Connor?
Yeah, it's another, sort of gateway project for CARP, and I think I commented on it before. I will say that it's a little discouraging about the landscape plan, the maintenance plan. The only thing that it articulates is appropriately seasonal operational maintenance. and not to be critical of you, because this isn't your area, but feedback for the district is, the landscape maintenance has basically been reduced to mulch and weed whipping and a couple of signature bushes. That's basically what's going on, and I think these are really important buildings. So I'd like to encourage the district to be a little more articulate about their budgeting for maintenance. And we experience a bit of it close to our neighborhood, just as an example. So, got to maintain it. Otherwise, nice job. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
And I concur with my other board members about the architecture. I do have a couple more concerns on the landscaping, just to segue from Vice Chair O'Connor's comments, is that there's just a couple ground cover plants on here that are just not going to, they're going to be there for like 3 years, and then they're going to look awful, and then they're going to die. And it just seems kind of a waste. So if we could, the heuchera is not a long-lived plant, and the Botoloa pendula is also something that is just going to get ratty. There's going to be trash in it. It's going to look terrible. I also don't see any WELOS calculations on this, and I don't know whether there's
State.
because it's a state project, they're not required to.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chair Blakemore, that's correct. It was reviewed by the state.
But I was wondering. I know it's here for final, and I don't want to hold it up just on a couple ground covers, but if there's a potential to maybe sometimes we've been able to just resolve it as kind of afterwards, just a submittal to me or a couple of the board members.
Yeah, in the case of this project, your board is welcome to recommend final approval with a comment.
Okay.
I defer to the applicant team, at this stage in the project with the state approvals already in place, to the extent that they're able to change, but your board is definitely able to recommend final with comments.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a motion. I don't think I've ever done a motion. It's my first time. I'd like to make a motion for final approval with the recommendation that the heuchera and the Botoloa be respecified to longer-lived plant species. All in favor?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you. I just
Thank
know
you all.
that everything else on here is going to have a really nice long life and going to put up with a lot of kids smacking at it and doing all kinds of terrible things to them, but those two are just not, so.
Yeah, you don't want to grow it for 3 years. have it
And why
disappear.
spend the district money and, or something that's just
Sure.
not going to do well.
Can I ask you what, I got the heuchera, but what was the second
The
one?
Botoloa, it's the third one,
C.
ground cover C,
Oh, okay, number C,
the
A and C.
grama grass, yeah.
Okay,
And those cistus, there's a few different varieties of cistus if they want to just get variations on that plant and do a different variety that's a different color, blooms a different time of year, that would be really appropriate, and those would be much longer lived. I think would look a little tidier overall.
sure. And may I ask a question about the procedure now? Because we're going to do one more meeting now, is that correct? Or is this going to be a sort of a ministerial kind
No,
of
you're
thing?
you're done with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just would make those recommendations to you, but
Okay.
if it causes you problems with the state approvals that you've already received, then you need to do what you need to do, but that would be our recommendation. Is that right?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll talk with the landscape architect and also the contractor, because, this obviously is already been bid out, so
Yeah.
we want to tread carefully in terms of costs, but
Shouldn't-
certainly want to take your.
Yeah, the cost shouldn't.
It shouldn't be an issue? Okay,
No,
okay,
No,
yeah.
it really shouldn't.
Yeah, if it's ground cover, right?
Yeah.
So what I will do is discuss it with the landscape architect and the district and see if we could accommodate like a substitution that wouldn't be any kind of
Yeah,
cost,
just a
because I just want to be
one-for-one swap.
sensitive about
Yeah.
that for sure. Yeah.
If it's a 1 gallon this or 1 gallon that,
Yeah.
usually the cost is comparable and the labor is exactly the same, so.
Absolutely. Okay,
Thank you
Just
so
present
much.
it to staff, and staff will ask Amy if it's okay.
sounds good. All right.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate everyone's time. Okay.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Okay, so and I understand we have, thank you, Megan. I think we have 2 more matters by staff.
Go ahead, come all the way from Oxford.
Provide me a minute.
No problem.
My slides didn't get into the folder correctly, so.
From the upside down, sideways.
Inside out.
We've got them here.
Yeah.
He-
I'm probably just
think he
gonna
needs-
say, let's do that. Yep, I may have dropped them incorrectly into the Dropbox. However, you have them. Hunter, would you like to come up? Yes. And, hi, would you like to look at what I'm about to talk about?
Hi, how is everyone? I'm good.
So, going off your handouts, as you may recall as you may recall, on November 13th, you reviewed this project. As a project to reorient a garage located at 445 La Tierra Lane. At the meeting, you recommended approval, and you asked that Hunter McGrath bring back an elevation that showed more detail and color on the existing and more specifically the proposed garage elevation. So that's been provided along with the color sheets and materials board that is going to be used, including the light.
That's correct. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead. Well, I don't know where we're at. I can't read the right.
Do we have questions for staff?
I do not have any questions for staff. It sounded like you really just wanted to get a clearer picture on the color of the garage door, and I understand there may have been confusion on the spec sheet because there are 2 garage doors pictured, but it's just like the darker one on the left there.
On the left?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have further questions or want to give some comments?
None for me. I think it's going to be a nice change.
Thank you.
Board Member Little, you got any feedback?
You said that last time too.
Yeah.
It's true.
Board Member Wolf? Board Member John?
It's fine with me, thank you.
I think it looks great as well.
Thank you.
And I'm excited for your landscaping in the front.
Yeah. Chantal Beau does a great plan.
Yeah, very nice. All right.
Dovetails right into your building permit, which
Yes.
will be coming your way after you get some comments.
Yeah, I'm
from-
ready to resubmit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right, cool.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Like a curtsy or something.
Yeah. We'll take it.
Thank you. And the reason for this item, this is matters by staff that we wanted to bring forward because the Carpinteria Avenue mixed-use project has been under construction for 12 months now, and it's becoming closer and closer to getting their certificates of occupancy. They've been rushing along, and I made a site visit with staff on Monday, went through the project, and we wanted to just kind of check in with the ARB and say, through the process, how are things looking for you? We were thinking, give you an update. You can see the housing along 9th Street is the first photo that I provided there. You can see the colors, kind of see the materials with the wood and the beach front or the beach small beach town colors, consistency, some of the rails, some of that concrete that's around the planters. The planting is in. I see a dead palm tree that we're going to address on that photo. We're talking with the applicant about the last light pole there, getting that replaced with something that would come back to you to look at. But the applicant
Replaced or removed?
they're going to replace it and put in a more modern.
So is it on the cover page, is that the pole you're talking about?
Yes, yes. that
So
pole's in there.
there's not power, that's not a power pole?
It's not a power pole. All there is it has power coming up out of the ground to do the light.
So it's a street light?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
oh, sorry. Yes.
Oh, so it'll be changed into a
Into a more
full street light?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
That'll be.
Yeah, the pole, the power has gone down.
Underground.
I've kind of watched them do
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a wire running up to it and then it's
Right.
powering the light.
I think our,
So
Too bad we couldn't get the power off of Carp Ave, though. There's actually 2 poles there.
Well, and that's a good question. That's something that we're looking into to see if we can find funding because the applicant has offered to contribute.
Outstanding.
Yeah,
The one that's right on that
coming
trail.
up with the money, yeah, that would be agreed.
Yeah,
So
that-
on the next page, I provided the photo on the upper left is the new entrance to the cafe. The cafe is still, they're working on getting an occupant in there. It looks like they're going to bring a chef in and maybe do it themselves, so we'll see how that comes along. So that's still under construction inside, and they've got a little ways to go, but they're pulling occupancy on the residential part of the project. And I show you the view from the creek side on Franklin Creek, the one below with the walls down below over the parking garage and the housing above to and 3rd story. The view on the upper right is from the 3rd story looking down into the courtyard and the new planting that's going on there. And then the next photo down shows looking towards 9th Street to the south. You see, they're still working on it. That's the same planter there looking towards
Yeah.
the housing on 9th Street where the entrances are and the entrances to the 2nd story housing. On the next page, I added a couple of interior photos. I thought that the door and the glass, that the door, you can kind of see it behind the ladder. I was having a hard time getting a shot, but it goes all the way up to the wood of the ceiling. I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty nice.
yeah.
Yeah, and so there's the interior of the restaurant as it's coming along, as it's roughed out, and then in the parking garage, it was pretty rough in there. So, but I saw the charging station, so I thought I'd throw that picture in there. But one of the ideas that Nick was discussing with me today is, arranging for a tour for the ARB to go over there and go through the project, and kind of we could do some. How did we do? With the design, how well did we, get our comments through the process, and how did those turn out in the real world? So we would really like your feedback on that, and any suggestions you have.
I'll show up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun touring it, and it was very interesting.
I do have a thought, if I could.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure which photo best shows it, and perhaps there isn't one, but the 2nd story commercial has been converted to hotel
That's correct.
space, right? So I'm just curious, and maybe we see this on the tour better than in a photo, but, how does the egress and the relationship of the hotel to the apartments and, all that sort of thing work? Because it's just not real clear.
They are they kept more parking spaces than they needed for the commercial. Now they're proposing to bring a couple of those down because they're not required to have them because they need more storage for the restaurant and the hotel, they found. But the circulation remains the same, and they go over the parking by a couple spaces still, even with that change. But the circulation is still coming in on both sides.
So
You
it's
know,
up those, it's up those steps in front? Is that the entrance up to the hotel?
There's an elevator. They've installed an elevator, and I've got a bunch of photos if you want to check them out. Come by my office and I'll show them to you. But yeah, we'll get you on site.
I think a site tour would,
Yeah, we could check it out then.
We met with the applicant today. They're rushing along to, get things final. That's the big rush at the end, which is kind of intense. And so we're going to approach them for some of their time in the next week or two. We'll try to do it as soon as we can, but I know they really want to get it going. They're going to submit a sign application, so you're going to get to see that. They're not ready yet because, they approved kind of a base sign on the original plans, if you recall. But they're, if they get a branding for the restaurant, they might want to, see some different kind of design of that, so, yeah.
I've driven by the site several times, and I don't recall that the exterior is kind of the poured in concrete formed.
board form concrete.
Yeah.
It's going to be a green wall. They're supposed to have
Yeah,
ivy
they're
on
having
the
those,
walls,
those,
on the concrete.
well,
down.
they.
Yeah, there's a few of them already started up.
Yeah, they have those grids that
Thank
go
you
on.
for reminding me of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've planted those, and they're kind of short right now, so we're hoping as they establish that they will cover that, the hole in the, as you see it from Carpinteria coming, yeah, so it's pretty bright in there, so I did check, and they do have dimming that is automatic, and I saw the remote lighting and stuff that'll automatically dim the lights, so that was part of their conditions on the outside of the building too.
And I was surprised on the blue color. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, the blue is a little bit
Is
shocking.
this a really good picture of that blue?
I think this is the one that's shocking, right? This one? This picture?
I think that's a little more representative.
Yeah, that feels better than this
That one's
does.
okay.
Right.
This feels a little shocking.
This one
think-
looks a
And
little
this one
intense.
looks even more shocking.
I think it's coming out,
I think it might be the shadowing
it's
from the
coming out a
light.
little dark because it's in the shadow.
Okay.
It's not that dark.
Okay,
So it's the
good.
same color?
It's, it's the same, very similar, yeah.
Oh, good.
On your
Yeah,
tape.
there's pretty much continuity in color, so.
That'll help.
Cool amount.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
go drive by there. Oh, yes, absolutely.
Is the reason you've presented this, is it because we as a group at this point can say, what happened to the blue? Or is this just for our information?
That's a good question. No, it's both. It's, we're coming to the end of a project. We want to know, I wasn't here when this got reviewed. I came in around the hotel when they changed from the commercial to hotel. The reason for the change was they didn't think commercial space was going to rent, and they wanted to do something else. So they got a change. They went through and proposed a change, and that was made. So, and we really want your input on how we did with getting the approval to look like the actual project, where we can do better. How do we make that happen? Those kind of questions are what we're looking for.
Yeah, I would add a couple of comments in context.
In other words, these colors were approved by the Architectural Review Board
Correct.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
So there's no reference page on the front that's
No.
helping me at all. I'm
No.
just like.
Yeah, I'm just
That's
giving
why-
you just a
What
few
is
photos
this?
that I took. Yeah.
Oh,
I think-
so this is all very familiar to you guys, and you're saying, wow, this is exactly the palette that I remember.
Right.
I think the other context in this, if I could, is if you recall that this was the first project that claimed anything associated with the housing element, and so this was a big deal.
It was a challenge. And it was a
And-
really challenging project, and they came in with a very bland sort of, stark, and we had them make a
Had them
lot of
animate it.
articulations to
Yeah, it went
it.
through a lot of
It-
reviews.
It changed significantly from the first presentation to what got final. Then I think also to further the project on Linden Square, also went through the process, and then come to find out down the road, there was a certain color that had been approved that was getting a lot of negative feedback from the community. And, it was something that came back and they changed it. But I think, sort of reminiscent of that, it would be good for the board to kind of go out and be in person and
Okay,
kind of
so in other words, there is a chance.
I think it's a great idea.
No different than Linden Square, that maybe the palette isn't quite right or something. It can still change if it looks unusual.
I think what it is it is what has been approved. I don't know that they would have
Yes,
deviated from that, but I think.
We're about to issue a certificate of occupancy. We looked at the
Okay.
colors and they were very close. The materials are what was approved. That was part of the final review.
But if I'm understanding what you're saying, it's more of a learning opportunity for the board
Yes.
to be able to go back and kind of see the actual implementation and.
Yeah, we want to engage your advice.
Yeah, so with that, I think you should make it really clear what the agenda is and when we're there.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the builder's going to be real thrilled if we stray.
Yeah, and I think he'll, he's doing projects here. He was in here today, and he seems to want to really do a good job on his projects. He's been working hard ever since I met him. So I think it'll be an interesting trip to go down there, and we can just have a meeting or an extra meeting or something like that. So I'll make arrangements, check in with your schedules. And we'll try to figure out a day to get you over there when there's less construction going on.
Oh, come on, that's the fun stuff.
And the
It is fun.
original color board will be there? I mean,
They have the architectural plans will be there for you to take a look at.
Okay. So,
Very good. That's all I have for you.
any matters referred by the planning commission? I'm guessing no?
Yes, I have
Oh,
one
well, wait,
tiny
no, you're
little thing.
not yet. We did matters by staff, planning commission, matters presented by board members.
I just wanted to share around everybody, I didn't bring copies of it, but if you happen to see Newshawk ever, last week there was a power,
Crash?
no, this is different. This is a power pole fire in Montecito. For those of you that kind of listen to my comments in these meetings, power poles are my pet peeve. We should be dropping them everywhere we can. And there was in fact a power pole fire in Montecito that caught a outbuilding on fire. And unfortunately, they dealt with it pretty quickly, but that's why I always poke at that one. Yeah.
The audience want to speak on anything?
Does the audience want to speak on anything? Okay, thanks, Amy.
Hi, Annie.
Okay, next meeting is
Doesn't say.
The 26th.
the 26th.
Yes, we just yes.
We will have
March
something
We
that night.
have an item on the agenda. It's a remodel of a house on Canalino Drive.
No reason to think I'm not.
And so that's coming forward. They just got their, you can go now and come to the ARB just yesterday. So,
Are you guys available?
no, you haven't seen it before.
Board Member Little, are you available?
Yes.
I think so.
That is my birthday.
Oh, really?
I don't know if, are we allowed to not come on our birthday, or do we have to?
If
That is my birthday.
if I bring cake and
I'll cover it.
Okay.
little
Well, I'll put it on my calendar, and
We got you covered.
if,
We're going to Hawaii.
I am not, we are going to go to,
nice. So we have two confirmations. Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. The only other thing I can think of that you might be interested in is that the Verizon Clock Tower project, Verizon has put it on hold, so it was continued at the Planning Commission at their meeting while they looked at a location at the Vets Hall building. And so Verizon has stopped applications right now, or at least construction projects right now, while they go through some changes. So they're going to be asking for another continuance to June, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But, yeah.
I understood from the community, somebody in the community, that the old B of A building, that Chrisman Museum or whatever it is, that they're interested in taking it on.
I heard that too, yes.
Yeah, that would be a good solution.
All right, well, if we've done everything we need to do, I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 6:25.
Just like you said.